It was his wife, Kokko, who picked up. "Hello, dear. I've been searching everywhere for you." "Was there something important?" Aizo asked. "Yes, it's extremely urgent. It seems that you said something very serious to Mr. Nakamura this morning." Aizo's premonition had been spot on. His heart began to pound, and he could feel his ears starting to burn hot against the telephone receiver. "What of it?" His voice had grown louder. "That's why I've been looking for you all this time," Kokko explained. "I see. In that case, I'll be home immediately," Aizo replied. He hung up the receiver with a click. After paying his bill, he dashed out of the restaurant. Back in those days, there were not as many vehicles about as there are now, and no matter how much of a rush one is in, it was not possible to simply take a cab or a private car. Aizo boarded a train, and although he was utterly helpless to make his arrival any faster, his heart urged him to hurry home. After finally returning to the shop, Kokko was impatiently waiting for him and conveyed to her husband a message from Mr. Nakamura. "As you suggested during our discussion this morning, I would like you to shelter Bose." Aizo had never expected that within just 7 or 8 hours, that morning's trivial chat would develop into such a tremendous responsibility that would be placed heavily upon his shoulders. However, when the time came, Aizo did not waver. "All this that is unfolding, it is fate. If it is within my power to save the life of this Indian freedom fighter, I will follow through until the end, no matter what sacrifices are required of me," Aizo decided resolutely. As for his wife, Kokko, she was as strong-willed and courageous as the best of men, and there was not even the slightest chance that she would object. Aizo immediately began preparations and made arrangements to shelter this compatriot of Indian independence without being discovered by anyone. They would throw the watchful police off their trail and transport an Indian man from one part of Tokyo to the location of Nakamuraya in a different area of the city. And without being noticed by their employees or customers, they would shelter Bose in a separate atelier on their estate. It was just like the plot of a detective story unfolding in real life.